whole square. So when you look at the very center of the square, you see that column. And what's at the bottom of the column is 7 equestrian statues. You remember I was telling you those nomad tribal people who migrated from the Urals, they were the chieftains. So those 7 fellows were in charge to conquer this Carpathian basin in what year? 896. So you remember the date for this square? 1890. Pressured on us, the change for Christianity and the change for kingdom. And that's what happened from the year 1000 in Hungary. So you look up to the very top of the column and you see there is a statue of Archangel Gabriel holding a double cross and the crown. And that's a symbol of Christianity and kingdom we had from the year 1000. And who are they in those niches of the colonnades? Those fellows are kings. We will hear a lot about him tomorrow when we visit St. Stephen's Basilica in the morning. So that's the first Christian king of Hungary, and the history finishes here on the right end of the colonnade with a statue.
Hungarian army. Kita
in the park, we go there for that concert of the organ recitals as well. So there is going to be more of the beautiful stories and fantastic sights waiting for you in the park tomorrow. But now we've got a whole city waiting for us. So we're going to drive you down the road of Andrássy. And this avenue, which is a 2.5 kilometers long, beautiful thoroughfare of Budapest, is so special that UNESCO has listed this for the World Heritage Site program. So this is a UNESCO listed World Heritage Site in Budapest. The closer we are to the park, as you see now, the smaller the houses are and the more gardens you see around them. And when you look at the way how these buildings were built, how the houses got structured, one house, one family. So that used to accommodate the most high class of Hungarian aristocracy before. And it's exactly the same like it did happen to people in Old Buda. Once the communism got started, they nationalized all of these very expensive private properties. They put a new limit out. And if you had anything above the value or above the size of the limit, the government took it away. And these families could not even keep a corner bedroom of the expensive residential area, but not belonging to the old families. It's not communism anymore. And if the ripped-off families could prove the ownership, what they used to have before, they could rely on compensations, what the new democratic government gave to them. But that compensation was only just to show their goodwill, but it was nothing compared to what people did really lose, you know, in those several years of terror of communism during the late 40s and 50s. The second stretch, second part of the Andrássy Avenue has got lovely double row of trees. It's more built-in part. And we've got buildings for purpose of education. Look to your left and look at this for a beautiful decoration on the facade. It's one of our universities. This is a fine arts university from 1871. Another university on the left has got the yellow and grey walls. And this is our first music academy where Franz Liszt was a professor. And have a look to your right and there's something very interesting for you. You see a little piece of the Iron Curtain here on the right side. And next door there is a little piece from that Berlin Wall. And you know, Hungarians participated a big rule for East and West Berlin, you know, and East and West Germany to get united, because with a black frame around is the old communist police headquarters building, which got converted into a museum about the terror of communism. So we do have a museum in Budapest which is called the House of Terror, but this is based on real history. What was the worst what could happen, you know, in the middle of Europe, the start and the improvement of the terror of communism until the time of the changes. So that museum was opened in 2000, and the same year it was rewarded to be the Museum of the Year in 2000 as well. And now we are approaching a nice roundabout with an 8 corners around, and this is what we call the octagon. 8 symmetrical corners there are in this octagon. And we cross now the Grand Boulevard, so you look either right or left, and you see what a marvelous bridge. When we have got trams going here since the end of 1880s. So lovely gardens. These ones on the left side are dedicated to Franz Liszt and our recent Music Academy's building, where we are at the moment. And you see we have got still beautiful trees along the road. And you see this is very much of commercialized part of the Andrássy Avenue. So we have got a lot of shops, very elegant shopping here. And also, what else? We have got lots of theaters. So since the very end of 1800, this part of the Andrássy Avenue has got a funny nickname. It's called the Budapest Broadway. So we have got very most of the theaters in this part of the city located. And you know, Hungary is very tiny though, in Europe, 10 million people only. And we have got only a very short term for the theatrical season between September until June in Vienna. And you see, we really followed what the fashion was at that time, new Renaissance for the architecture. There's one thing, a Hungarian opera house is, that's our St. Stephen's Cathedral, St. Stephen's Basilica, largest Roman Catholic cathedral of the city, third largest in Hungary, and this is the one which is dedicated to firstly crowned